Well, first I want to say hello to everyone, and I want to thank all of you for being with us this afternoon. I'd like to welcome all of our guests, our fellow speakers behind me, members of the media, as well as our Highland membership to Highland Golf and Country Club and our new golf academy. You know, I was running a few errands at lunch, and I was driving around, and I saw some snow flurries, and I thought, if this isn't ever the perfect reason of why we built an academy like this, it's because it's snowing on March 12th. So I thought that was perfect weather for a day like today. Today marks an exciting time and exciting future for not only our membership, but for Butler University as well as the Indianapolis community. You know, the vision for our golf academy started roughly 2.5 years ago. And like any worthwhile endeavor, it took plenty of time, effort, sweat, and a lot of plain hard work to see it through. Looking at some records, we broke ground and started tearing away some turf on this property, or on this spot, back on August 30th of last year, which was 194 days ago. So to get here today, standing inside a building like this, it took a lot of hard work and dedication from several different groups of people. So before I get too far along, I'd like to mention a few very important thank yous to those that have given so much of their time and their talents and resources to make this academy go from a vision to a reality that is today. First off, to the Highland Golf and Country Club Board of Directors, led by Mike Petrie, our club president. I want to say thank you to all of you for your willingness to think outside of the box and build a unique facility such as this, especially for a club that's celebrating its 99th year of existence. To our club's construction committee, led by fellow board member Steve Yeager, as well as club members Chris French, Steve Hollett, Bill Collins, and Jack Leitch. These members went above and beyond in their dedication and their commitment, extraordinary amounts of time and effort and expertise in navigating all the different parts of the construction process. To Butler University Athletic Department, Barry Collier, Athletic Director. Assistant Athletic Director Carl Heck, and Head Golf Coach, men's and women's programs, Bill Mattingly. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing our vision and making a long-term commitment to Highland. We appreciate that very much. Our entire construction team, led by Patterson Horth, general contractors who have been fantastic and great to work with throughout this entire process, as well as our architecture design firm of Browning Day, Mullins, and Deerdorf, as well as our lead designer, Landon Chapman, who I know is here. Thank you for drawing up and putting together such an amazing facility. Guys, it's been a blast to work with you. And finally, to all the other Highland members, there's too many to name right now, that have dedicated and given of their time, their expertise, their resources, like I say, in all the different phases of this process. They've given us their time and talent and expertise to make sure we were able to make this building something special and make it what it is today. So thank you to all of our members to getting us to where we are. So that being said, we're thrilled to provide our membership, the Butler student athletes, and other members of the Indianapolis community a world-class facility that rivals anything of its kind in the country. The 9,200 square foot Highland Golf Academy features a 3,200 square foot short game practice area with a variety of contours and slopes, as well as 5 different grasses of synthetic turf for indoor putting, chipping, and pitching work. The facility also boasts 5 floor-to-ceiling wood-clad heated hitting bays outfitted with multiple high-performance TrackMan launch monitor technology, as well as 2 golf simulators that allow for users to play up to 50 of the most famous and prestigious golf courses from around the world. There are also multiple lounge areas and meeting spaces for both the membership and the Butler student athletes to facilitate meetings or relaxing before or after a practice session. Our membership and Butler student athletes will now have year-round access to the most up-to-date and state-of-the-art facilities and technology available. We couldn't be more excited about the future of the Academy, and we are pleased to officially open the building today. And along with that, we're also very excited to have a few very important people here to say a few words and commemorate and help us celebrate as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker to help us mark this special occasion and say a few words. It is my privilege and honor to introduce the mayor of the city of Indianapolis, Mayor Joe Hogsett.
Thank you, Bill. You notice how Bill, in his introduction, and very gracious Bill, thank you, said that I'm here to offer a few remarks. Another thing that I learned, you always learn as you travel around. Today, I'm so happy to be at Highland to help open this new facility, state-of-the-art as it's been identified. But what I didn't know, and was informed by Mike Petrie, that I guess the mayor of Indianapolis is an honorary Highland member. Nobody told me that. So I told Petrie, well, I've already lost 2 years. So it's great to be with you. Good afternoon to everyone. It is indeed an honor to help cut the ribbon in these impressive new facilities here at Highland Golf Country Club. I'd like to thank all of you for allowing me to join with you. The history of Highland Golf stretches back as nearly as far as the city, all the way back to 1903, when one of my predecessors, Mayor John W. Holtzman, granted a portion of Riverside Park for golf purposes. And today, our shared story continues as we unveil the new additions for the Highland Golf Academy here. This is truly a remarkable space. As has been indicated, members will be able to practice all year long with these great indoor hitting bays, golf simulators, and even more. I'm pleased and proud as a Butler alum that this space will be utilized by the Butler University men's and women's golf teams, with plans in motion to make the space available for even local high schools to practice. And that's a good thing. But the true potential impact this has for our community is your partnership with organizations like PGA Hope, which supports our nation's veterans who have disabilities, a program that provides avenues for these veterans to enjoy the game of golf, as well as the First Tee program, which offers scholarships to Indianapolis kids on a need basis, introducing the love of the game to those who may not otherwise have the opportunity to enjoy a love of the game. First Tee program, and now these kids will have a new appetite for the game, as well as a place to learn, to have fun, and to make new friends within our community. That's what I call, from where I'm from, a win-win-win. That's why we love the game of golf. After all, as there are few better ways to form friendships, consummate business relationships, discuss the issues of the day, and I look forward to joining in those discussions, as long as it doesn't involve a word that begins with the letter P. But there's no better way to do those things than to spend 9 or 18 holes walking up and down fairways and greens. And thanks to the Highland Golf Academy and their outreach throughout our city, Indianapolis will continue as it has in its past. Indianapolis will continue to be the ideal place to live, to work, and to play golf. I thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for the kind words, and couldn't agree with you more. And thank you for being here today to help us celebrate and commemorate the opening of our academy. So the Highland Golf Academy is a $1.6 million facility, and it is funded by the newly formed Highland Golf Academy Foundation, as well as the club's partnership with Butler University. Highland is excited to serve as the home of Butler University's men's and women's golf programs for many years to come. So now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Athletic Director from Butler University, Mr. Barry Collier.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Mayor Joe. It's my pleasure to be here. One thing I did want to clear up immediately is that Butler has zero as in no plans to put a hoop up on that end and a hoop up on that end and play basketball here. This is strictly a golf facility, and a magnificent one, I must say that. I've had great fortune to been to a number of places. I can safely say none better than this one. And so thank you, Highland, for your vision. These two guys behind me, among many members and leadership folks with your club. Thank you for your vision and for the initial outreach and interest in finding a way to do this and involving Butler. Highland and Butler have been partners for a long time. Butler has practiced here, played some tournaments here, but this will expand unbelievably for us in a year-round basis for our student athletes. Speaking of which, our student athletes both teams are competing in Florida, where the weather's a little bit better than here right now. They have a tournament on each end of the week here, and Bill Mattingly, our coach, is obviously with them and seeing their play improve. This is only going to make a huge difference for us as time goes forward. So we greatly appreciate the partnership, the ability to practice and play tournaments here, to really work in hand in glove with the membership, allowing our student athletes to interact with you all a little bit outside of golf and in this facility is a benefit we see beyond just the play and the improvement. The technology that's available here is outstanding and it's phenomenal. I mean, I can't even imagine how my golf game might improve if I was able to do this back 100 years ago when I was just starting to play. But so be it. That's for you all members and our team members to take advantage of and learn from. And I know that Bill will lead the charge for you all in that category. But this facility, you think about the elements that are occurring outside today, much less, as the mayor was talking about, minus 13 January 2nd, roughly. He said, it's exactly January 2nd, it was minus 13. That had an effect in the city beyond the golf, I understand. But imagine that. I mean, you could literally be in here with all of this space and the technology that's available, all the parts of the game that you can work on. And I know that our teams have already been in here doing that in the last few weeks as it came online. So that's a very, very exciting thing. And now, literally 365 days a year, our student athletes can work on their game and improve, and in a tremendously convenient. If somebody doesn't show up for practice, you can just stand on the bluff and yell over to campus and get them over here quickly. I think it's that close, which is another very good piece of this partnership for student athletes who are time demands on them are significant. Our women's golf team, by the way, led all of our teams with a 3.5 cumulative GPA. So if you've got a 3.5 GPA on our women's golf team, you're just average. But that's the kind of kid that are going to be here enjoying this program. So The good news is for a minimum of the next 30 years, Butler and Highland are partners, and we couldn't be more pleased. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Collier, and again, thank you to you, Carl Heck, as well, and everyone at Butler University for sharing our vision and passion to improve the experience for our golfers, both at Highland and at Butler, and we're looking forward to our future as well. So in addition to this facility serving our membership's needs as well as Butler student athletes, the Academy will also serve as a vessel for the club's new philanthropic mission, the Highland Golf Academy Foundation. Our foundation is a 501c3 organization with the intent to introduce the game of golf as well as its inherent values and beliefs to those in our community who otherwise may not have the opportunity. Through the club's facilities and resources, as well as the time and talents of our membership and professional staff, we look to grow the game while also making a positive impact on our participants, our membership, and our community as a whole. Now, in our foundation currently, we've identified 3 specific areas that we look to target to help reach our mission's objectives. And the first is the First Tee of Indiana. Many of you have probably heard of this program. It's now in its 20th year. It's a national program and something that's extremely successful across the country. The First Tee is a youth development organization that introduces the game and uses the game of golf to build, to introduce the game through in-school and after-school programming. And through these programs can help shape the lives of young people from all walks of life by reinforcing the values like integrity, respect, and perseverance through the game of golf and the skills that it teaches. I'm happy to just announce that this past Saturday morning, we had our first Tee clinic here. We had a dozen young kids from around the Indianapolis area, ages 5 to 10 years old, and we had a great time in here. And to see their eyes when they walked into this place, I don't think they knew anything like this place could ever exist. So it was truly something special to be a part of. Our second arm of our foundation is going to be PGA Hope, as the mayor just mentioned. HOPE stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. PGA Hope is the flagship military program of an organization called PGA Reach, which is the charitable foundation of the PGA of America. PGA Hope introduces golf to veterans with disabilities to enhance their physical, mental, social, and emotional well-being. And again, I'm also happy to announce we've partnered with our local VA and Domesori, and we have this Wednesday morning our first PGA Hope Clinic. We've got 15 veterans coming here to the Academy, and we're going to spend some time with them and hopefully teach them how to hit a few golf shots, but most importantly have a good time and get them to enjoy themselves here at the club. So we're really excited about both of those programs. And finally, we also are in the process of identifying a few local public schools here in the Indianapolis area that have an interest, and we want to help them build their own boys and girls golf programs at their schools. So we're hoping to identify those schools here in the next coming weeks and months and get some programs started for those schools as well. And I can just tell you, as the head golf professional here at Highland, not only am I excited just to be able to work in a state-of-the-art facility such as this, but to be able to have the opportunity to give back to other groups in the community, such as those that I just mentioned, on behalf of this organization, our club, is something that I truly appreciate and take a lot of pride in, as do I know our members. So in the last 12 to 18 months, between the vision and the design of this golf academy, between our partnership with Butler University and putting that together, as well as creating our foundation, the person that's been at the helm of that process during a majority of that time is going to be our next speaker to say a few words, and that is our club president, Mr. Mike Petrie.
Thank you, and on behalf of the board of Highland Golf and Country Club and the members, I want to thank you all for coming. Now, Mayor, I just want you to know the reason why I held off on giving you or getting you the knowledge of your honorary membership is I wanted to make sure we got our occupancy permit for the facility on time. Now that we have it, you're now an honorary member. I also really want to thank Carl and Barry. You have to understand, when Bill and I met with them for the first time and told them, look, fellas, we want you to sign an agreement with us. It's going to be a 30-year agreement. We don't have the building built yet, but trust us, we'll build you a building and we'll have a partnership. I can understand, you can understand anybody's, maybe disbelief that these guys, maybe can they pull it off, but they were gracious enough to agree to that, and we signed an agreement before we turned the first shovel of dirt. So I really do want to thank Carl and Barry for your faith in us, and thank you very much. We appreciate that. Just so you all know, this is our 99th year as a club. Next year we'll be celebrating our 100th year. And as part of that, you can see that there's a tremendous amount of construction that's going on right now, not only this building, but also throughout the club. And I want to thank our neighborhood, for those our neighbors that are here, and for the Central Indiana Land Trust, which is represented by Cliff Chapman. Cliff, are you here? Thanks, Cliff. We sold 12.2 acres along the riverbanks that they'll be preserved for eternity as a parkland or whatever, a land in the land trust. And because of that, we now have funds to make improvements to our club. So thanks to the neighborhood, we're improving the asset of this neighborhood, and wouldn't have been done without the help of the Central Indiana Land Trust and our neighbors. Now, when it comes to this facility, what I have to say is kind of simple. Most clubs that would have built this facility would have built it for the members, and the members only. But they're not Highland Golf and Country Club, and it's not like every other club. We're a club with a mission, and our mission is to expand the game of golf. And we're going to do that through the first tee. Sorry about that, I always talk with my hands, you'd think I was Italian. But we're going to do it through the First Tee program, the PGA Hope program, and then also by helping public school students learn the game of golf so that they can be better golfers when they're out there on the courses when they play golf together. And that's important to us because you could just build this for your members and that's it. But this facility, as you can see, it needs to be used, and needs to be used for people that may not have a chance like a club member, but then they have an opportunity to see that there is a different world out there, and we can mentor them to be better kids, better students, and hopefully better golfers in the future. And also to have a partnership with Butler so that their students can also come through here and use this facility. So as a club member of Highland, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of our members that they're willing to let us do that with this facility, that they're willing to share it with the broader community of Indianapolis. And I think that's a great thing to say about this club as opposed to any other country club in the city. And that's what I'm most proud of. And hats off to them. So again, thank you all very much. Look forward to you using this facility, and hit them straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Petrie, for those words. And again, thank you for all your leadership and everything you've done to help this academy come to life here over the last 12 to 18 months. So again, really in closing, I want to thank everyone for attending, and again, for all the hard work that everyone has put in to get us to this point. It's an exciting time for our membership, as well as Butler University and many others in the community. So, as Mr. Petrie mentioned, we're going to be turning 100 years old in 2019, and this academy is going to play a large part in us celebrating our next 100 years. So with that, it's time to cut the ribbon. So I invite everyone to stay for that, and then afterwards, please stick around for our cocktail reception and open house as well.